Hello everyone. Welcome to the 11th tutorial in this complete guide to React.js. In this tutorial, I'm going to explain what are all the restrictions that we have in JSX. So for this tutorial, I'm going to take the code base which I have used on third tutorial, that is using the npx command how to create a React app. That particular code base, I'm going to use it over here as a code base in explaining the JSX restriction tutorial. So when I just clicked on the app.js, in the app.js it was like this by default, and our our applications was looking like this, like the React app was looking like this. And in this, what we'll do is by default, what all the contents that was present in the div tag, we'll remove the entire contents, and I'll create another div tag, and I'll also put an HTML element inside the div and explain you like what is the restriction is all about. So I'm going to type SX restriction. So once I click on this, let's see in the React in the browser what it looks like. So it gives me a command like this. It's giving me a sentence like saying that JSX restrictions are explained. So right now I'm planning to include another div tag. Let's see what happens. So I have included another div tag and I'm clicking on save. It is throwing an exception at the compile time saying there is a duplicate div that is getting passed. And in the compile time itself, it gives you an expression that only one parent element. That means over here in React, it is expecting you to return only one div tag. If in case, if you want to add some other contents inside it, what you can do is you can put a child element, but whereas it is expecting you to return only one parent element of div tag. So all these contents are not HTML. When I say HTML tag and other things, I'm just returning a JavaScript. Over here, React.js expects that to be in an HTML format, but in turn, it is converting into a React.create element, which I have explained in the third tutorial. So over here, the first main restriction what we learned is React is asking you to return only one div tag. Make sure about it. So if I am return some child element, then that is okay for the React app, and it is giving you this contents. And what is the next restrictions? Over here inside the div tag, you can mention class equal to app. And what this would do is like in general in div tag, if you mention class equal to app, if there is any you know if there is any content is being present as a CSS, that would get loaded. But over here you should not mention that in a name called class. You should mention it under class name. So mention it as a class name. By default, Visual Studio Code also shows you that. And when you click on save, what happens is it would apply all the CSS element which is present in app.css, and you don't have to mention .css over here. And if you take a look at it, by default, this import element will also be present. And if you comment this out, let's see what happens. If you comment this out, the CSS, whichever that is loaded, right? It won't get loaded right now, because make sure that you import this app.css as well, and you are giving dot slash because it is present in the same folder where this file is present. So that's all today. Like, I just want to explain these two restrictions which I have uncovered in the previous tutorial, and hence I have included a tutorial under a topic called JSX restrictions and explained you all this contents. So in the next tutorial, I'll come up with different topics. Thanks, and have a nice day ahead.